Remind the audience, how many years were you imprisoned?
17.
17 years for a crime you didn't commit. That must have been frustrating knowing you were innocent.
I always knew the truth would come out eventually. But I'd be lying if I said my faith didn't waver.
Of course, and so it must have come as quite the surprise when Lois Lane, the reporter who famously linked Lex Luthor to Boss Moxie's murder, ends up publishing the article exonerating you.
Not really.
Not really.
Miss Lane always knew I was innocent. It was her friend Pia Mannheim who, in fact, committed those crimes. But taking down a billionaire always makes for a better story.
Of course. A much better story. And yet Miss Lane claims to only have met Miss Mannheim most recently when they were both receiving chemotherapy treatments at Hobbs Bay.
Convenient alibi.
How so?
Look, after Miss Mannheim almost leveled half of Metropolis, there was no more hiding what her true abilities were. Lois knew people would connect the dots to Moxie's murder, so she got out in front of the story. That doesn't hide the fact that she lied.
She lied. Did she ever reach out to apologize?
I went to her, hoping to hear she was sorry. Even thought about moving Luthor Corps to Smallville to bring jobs to her community. Instead, Lois accused me of other crimes without any evidence, threatening that she was going to put me away again. And then she turned the town against me.
Well, that sounds like the single worst apology I've ever heard in my life.
Me too. And I was in prison for 17 years.
17 years. Lex Luthor, tell me, what brings you here? Now, what is it that you hope to get from Lois Lane?
The truth.
The truth hardly seems likely, given the smear campaign she's waged against you all these years.
Lois Lane claims to be a champion for justice. If she really believes that, then I challenge her to come here and debate me, face to face.
Face to face would be a fascinating exchange. When and where would that take place?
Tonight. You do have a 7 o'clock show, don't you?
Yes. Yes, we do. Well, this is quite the development. Lois Lane, if you're watching, and let's face it, who isn't? Mr. Lex Luthor and the Godfrey crew will be right here at 7 p.m. sharp. The question the rest of America wants to know is, will you? More Godfrey right after this.
Should have known he was planning something like this.
This isn't like Luthor. He hates being on TV.
Well, he looked pretty comfortable to me.
He's just trying to get under your skin.
Yeah, well, mission accomplished. But if he thinks I will not confront him on camera...
Lois.
What? I have the truth on my side, Clark, not to mention a star witness.
Otis Grisham is the only witness with any real information on Luthor, and the DOD has not made a deal with his lawyers yet.
But when they do, Otis will testify that Luthor ordered him to murder Lana, among other things.
Which is why Luthor's trying to draw you out. If he discredits you publicly, he can plant doubt ahead of Otis's testimony.
My reputation is at stake, Clark. He just called me a liar in front of a national audience.
Because he's desperate. He is trying to trip you up, knowing that after Otis's testimony, he won't have any moves left.
Well, I can't just sit here and do nothing.
Okay, so let's go to the office. You can write a rebuttal, which I will proof after.
What, for spelling errors?
I was thinking more like the colorful language.
Fine, I'll get my keys.
Oh, hey. Now that everybody knows I can fly.